In the Ascension Parish Cemetery, it's normal to find teens playing amongst the tombstones. You'll find yourself witnessing the repercussions of the disrespectful antics of two teens who have awakened the spirits of the dead. As you roam through the cemetery, you'll wind through dark mausoleums and decaying piles of coffins. Ghosts of every shape and form will rise from the tombstones to exact their revenge as you try to escape the maze of crumbling tombstones and mausoleums. Skeletal beings, ghastly apparitions, and vengeful spirits will try to drag you to the grave, and in the end, you'll find out what happened to those who set out to deface the cemetery.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to Spooky Time with Mike and Mindy.
Hiya, spookers.
Hi, everyone.
We got an announcement again, like a second day in a row.
2 days in a row.
So now we're up to 9 houses out of 10 announced. We still are waiting on another house, the scare zones, and entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So.
The show.
Yeah.
So, this then takes it to 4 originals.
Yes.
5 IPs.
Yes. And what's it called?
It's called Graveyard Games.
Yeah. I saw this on a few speculation maps a while ago, and I had no idea what it was about, but I was excited for it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, like, what kid doesn't go to the graveyard? Like, I never defaced anything or anything like that, but, like, who doesn't, as a young teen, like, wander around a cemetery in the middle of the night?
Mm-hmm.
So, but this
Which
sounds
we
awesome.
have done.
Yeah, well, obviously. Yeah. So, what do you think?
I am excited, so I had to stifle myself today because I saw your text messages and then I called you and I was like, oh, I can't say anything.
Yeah, we try not to talk too much about announcements until
you get our more genuine reactions, but
yeah.
So let me try and unbottle it. But the first thing I remember saying is I have chills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the way that the image that they gave when they announced it and then, the description of it, it's just chilling, you know, this is going to be one of those hair standing up on the back of your neck type of just creepy feeling of something
something's
there.
watching you the entire time you're walking around. And I think I'll post a picture of their announcement picture that they have from the site onto our Instagram at Spooky Time with Mike and Mindy, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But there's the text itself looks just what is it, ethereal? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah, it's kind of phasing in and phasing out.
Yeah,
it's there and it's not.
Yeah, and there's this spirit that's just standing in the background in this huge cemetery that's
but the eyes are just looking right at you.
Yeah, and what's really cool too, I think, is that this graveyard that we're going to is in Louisiana.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Oh, it's literally the first part. Ascension Parish is just... It's a little east of Baton Rouge, and then a little bit west and a little bit north of New Orleans. So it's actually between Baton Rouge and New Orleans.
So it'd be the capital and then the largest city.
Yeah. So that's where Ascension Parish is. I knew it was in Louisiana because of my work that I do.
Yeah, parishes.
Yeah. Because it's in Louisiana and the way that cemeteries are down there, you know that the coffins and more stuff is just more on top rather than underground.
Yeah, they're not buried because of the water.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So I think that's gonna make for a really cool experience.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. And also, they mentioned, walking through the dark mausoleums, decaying piles of coffins. So, man, I feel like we're going to get a bit of poltergeist vibes.
Oh, I would love walking through a tunnel again with the coffins falling out and all the dirt smells. So I would love that.
That's what I'm expecting this to be like. So, last year, Halloween Horror Nights 28, Poltergeist was one of the houses, and it starts by you walking up to the house, and all the caskets have come up out of the ground.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what this is going to be like, and that the rain and the air conditioning cold from that. I feel like this is just going to be, you're going to be chilled, and it's...
I hope we don't get as wet in this one as we did in Poltergeist, because that one was like literally raining.
Well, it's only because we were held up that one walkthrough.
Yeah.
But maybe not the rain. I don't need the rain, but it definitely, I want it to be cold. I want it to smell like dirt.
Yeah.
And I want, I don't know what they're going to do. So are they going to like do like some projection scares? Are they all going to be scare actors?
I think it's got to be a mix. I think this house is going to showcase a lot of effects, you know, that we just don't understand. I think that this is going to be where the creative team really gets to just test out a bunch of stuff that maybe they'll use in future IP houses or something, that like they're like, oh, we can't do this until we test it out, you know, in an original house or something before we can like really do something.
I like that. I like that thought that it's seeing a test of the creative team to see what they can actually do.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, who knows?
Put these concepts to life.
I mean, I don't really know. I just feel like originals are a good way to test out something if you're not
certain
like totally
techniques,
sure.
Certain presentations of scares, if it comes across the way that you intend it to.
Right,
that
exactly.
Makes sense. That absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about it. Plus, like, it sounds like there's this huge story that goes along with it, and we didn't read part of the announcement. I'm gonna have Mike read this paragraph so that you guys can have the rest of the announcement. I just didn't think it was spooky enough, so
yeah, well, it kind of takes you out of it a little bit. So before you enter the haunted house, take the opportunity to chat with a few of the local teens and storytellers of the town. All you need is your phone and open Facebook Messenger to the Halloween Horror Nights page. Here you'll learn the history and spooky legends the cemetery keeps. Better to be prepared for what awaits than find yourself coming to a dead end.
Yeah, I think that's so cool that like you're going to be able to be in line and then essentially talk with the people that like live in the area.
Yeah.
Like that's so cool. Like what a full immersive experience.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to test that out for sure when we're there, because the more story and stuff you get, the better these original houses are.
Right, the more you feel immersed. And that's always been the challenge, right, with originals. The challenge with originals has always been that IPs, you know them, you've seen them, there's something you can watch, there's a thing that you can immerse yourself into. And the originals, I mean, they're one and done. They're there for a year and then they're gone.
Yeah.
So it's difficult having nothing to go off of. How do you get into it?
Yeah, how do you get people excited? How do you get people into that line over Stranger Things or something like that, you know? Like,
right.
Yeah.
And something like this definitely helps.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good way to go.
Yeah, plus I just think it's just a really cool, classic idea. Yeah. Like, it's a classic, scary, haunted house type of thing. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think... And classic, yes. I think they're going to do it well. So, you know, you think like, oh, ghosts, how unoriginal. But I really think that this is going to be done well and done right. And the fact that they say you walk through mausoleums and you go, you know...
They mentioned tombstones 3 times in like 2 paragraphs.
So you're not just in rows of tombstones.
Sure.
Right? Like you're transported through different types of environments.
Yeah, definitely.
So, oh man. Oh, I just had a visual. You're walking through a mausoleum, right? And then hands come out.
Well, of course. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much opportunity for scares in this one. And I wonder if they were just having too much fun with Ghostbusters, that they were like, we need to keep the ghosts and spirits going because we have all of these great ideas and great effects and stuff that we can't showcase in Ghostbusters.
Oh, I'm sure there was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would love to know the story when it's all like done, whatever, the story of how they came up with this. I mean, maybe this will be one of the walkthroughs.
Oh my gosh, yes. Unmasking the Horror, if we do this, that would be really cool, because I'm sure like being able to see these sets and all the things that we're not going to see, because this will obviously be a dark house.
Yeah.
So being able to go on with the lights on to see all the
night.
details, yeah, that would be really cool. That's a great point. I pretty much want to go through all of these though for the Unmasking the Horror, and it's like we're only doing 6 out of the 10, and I'm just like...
But if we're only doing 6 out of the 10, is it going to be... Oh, we don't know. The last house we're highly suspecting to be an IP, so would it be walking through all 6 IPs? No, they give you a mixture.
No, it's a mix.
You get a mix.
Yeah.
Another thing about this house that really gets me excited or gets me into it, like, I think it's going to be one of those houses where you walk out of it and you don't feel like it's over.
Oh, yeah, you're just on edge the entire time. Probably.
Like when you made me go through the Blumhouse one three times in a row with Sinister and Insidious.
And Purge.
Thank you.
If you want to call it that.
Oh,
that was awesome. There was no line, so we just like repeatedly went through the Blumhouse one, which... Mike did not enjoy.
Yeah,
he was like, "Can we please
spiritual / demon thing?" And I was, that's one of the ones where I left the house and knew I wasn't in it anymore, but I kept thinking things were gonna jump out and scare me as I was walking around, not in the house.
Yeah, so, I think it's because I like took us through so many times in a row that you just end up on edge.
But that being said,
yeah.
I think this house can do... Well, because the Poltergeist did that a bit for me, too.
Yeah.
We did go through it twice, but not back to back.
Right.
So I'm excited for what this house will do to me specifically.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that feeling of... You're just kind of... You question your reality just a little bit. You get outside, you're like,
I do constantly. Whenever I go to Halloween Horror Nights, literally for like the next like 5 days, I'm like, something's gonna... Like, I'll be back home and I'm like, something's gonna jump out, you know, from the closet or something, even though nothing will. But like, happens. You're just so on edge because you're just so used to things coming at you.
Yeah, and I remember my first memory of that effect of Halloween Horror Nights and what it does to you is actually the prep we did.
Yes.
For when we watched all the Sinister, or not Sinister.
We watched
the Sinisters
all
and the Insidiouses.
We watched, I think it was 3 Purge movies and then 2 Sinister, or I don't know, it was a bunch of Blumhouse.
No, we did 3 Insidious, 2 Sinister.
In
one
way.
weekend, which was ridiculous.
It was intense.
Yeah, that one where I remember walking through the halls specifically and like kind of slowing down a bit around the opening to the second bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, what's gonna? Okay,
it's the ghoul.
It's the ghoul. Yeah. So I'm excited for that effect. Like, I'm excited for that feeling coming out of this one. I feel like that's what it's going to do for me.
Yeah, so then to recap, because I totally forgot Killer Clowns was announced somehow yesterday.
And I reassured Mindy. I told her it's because you didn't think it was going to happen. You wanted
I'm
it
still in
so much
disbelief that Killer Clowns is going to happen.
Believe.
Plus, I didn't believe Us was going to happen, and that's such a great announcement. So I just want to recap. So for intellectual properties so far, we have Killer Clowns, Us, Ghostbusters, Stranger Things, mostly season 2, partially season 3, Universal Monsters, and then for originals, we have Yeti, Blood Pit, Depths of Fear, and now Graveyard Games.
Mm-hmm.
So, Killer Clowns was my number 1, with Us pretty much being a secondary. Like, now that I was like, oh crap, I forgot Killer Clowns. And Ghostbusters up there too for
what you're most looking forward to?
For intellectual properties.
Oh, yes.
And yours is Us, that you're most looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
For originals, with Graveyard Games announced out of the 4, where does it land for you?
So Graveyard Games is duking it out for top spot with Yeti.
Yeah, they're both up there for
the
me.
Ghost is battling the Yeti.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make it better is if there was like a Ghost Yeti.
How cool would that be?
That's not great.
It won't.
and why? I would
That'll
say
be the next Yeti house.
Graveyard Games would take the number 1 spot if they didn't specifically say that Yeti was inspired by Slaughter Cinema.
Yeah, like as a sequel. Pretty much.
So.
And that's like your fave.
I think Yeti is going to maintain the top spot just for that.
Yeah.
At least for what I'm expecting.
Sure. Which can totally change.
And it often does.
Yeah, even...
The ones you get the most hype for, sometimes you are the most disappointed by.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, you know, the ones that you just write off before you even walk through the gate.
Yeah.
You're like mind blown.
Yes.
What was I thinking? How did I not see that they could do that with it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Yeti, Graveyard Games, and Blood Pit are all pretty much my number one. I would say Blood Pit's just below them. Like, they're all, like, right up at the top. Depths of Fear is my lowest, but that doesn't mean I'm not excited for it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm excited for all these originals this year.
Yeah, it's the lowest, but it's a really high...
It's a really high low.
It's up there, but it's the lowest.
Yeah.
The lowest of the grade. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think this is going to be an awesome year. This lineup is amazing. I don't feel like it's a very scary and very horror-like year so much.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, so for me, it's like always people that are the scariest, you know? And then like close with paranormal behind it. So it's like this year doesn't really have a lot of that.
Because monsters don't do it for you.
Yeah, so but like with Graveyard Games announced, that does get me excited. Killer Clowns I just love as a movie. And Ghostbusters will be kind of scary, but it's also, like, fun. I just feel like this year is going to be really, really fun. I think that the originals are going to be scarier.
Yeah.
Well, along with Us. Us is going to be horrifying. I take that back.
Depending on how they do it.
Yeah. I feel like they'll be able to crush that, though. It's going to be a really good house.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, anything else you got to say?
It gets me excited for what is the last house.
Yeah.
Is it going to be half and half IP original, or is it going to be
It's an intellectual property. The way that the website is set up, it's definitely a spot for an intellectual property.
All right. Well, so
and heavily rumored would be House of a Thousand Corpses by Rob Zombie. But we'll see.
We shall see.
Yeah. So
we shall.
But I'm all about having a ton of Rob Zombie music, so that would be great.
I have mixed feelings. I dig the music, but I haven't seen the movies, and I honestly, I don't want to.
Yeah, same.
I don't want to have to do that prep, so.
But we will. We will definitely do that prep if we have to. If we gotta do it,
we'll do it, but yeah. So that's fine. And you can send your hate to Spooky Time with Mike and Mindy on Facebook, and we're also on YouTube.
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
Yep. All the places. Send your hate.
Yes, send all the hate our way.
But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna like the house or something like that. Because I have no idea.
It'll be well
would
done.
have
it's
to
just
do that
a personal preference of, horror movies or scary movies, and it's just. There's nothing to do with Rob Zombie or the quality of anything. It's just
you
it's
never
not
know.
my
We could be
cup
surprised.
Of tea. Maybe
we've been missing out this entire time.
I found that we've been missing out on a lot of stuff.
It's
since
true.
we started going to Halloween Horror Nights.
It's true.
All this prep work that we've done in the last couple of years. I'm like, man, we really are behind.
Like I didn't realize how out of it we were until we had to get into it. So
right.
Or at least try to get into it. Thanks for putting up with us, you guys.
It's a work in progress. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's really exciting. I can't wait to get the last house and the scare zones.
Yeah, same.
Anything else from
No, let's put a nail in this coffin of an episode.
Boy.
I was trying to make a good pun. It wasn't great, so.
It didn't really land.
Yeah. Would you say it was like dead or something?
Dead on arrival, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right.
All right. Stay spooky, spookers.
Bye.